Smoky days are not fun. Yeah. Okay. Well, we are doing our second tag in the series of 4 tags, the Porch and Petal tags. I'm Erika Joanne from Erika Joanne Art, and I teach innovative ways to paint and create. And I typically use acrylics and colored pencil together. That's really a lot of what I do. And I use those two mediums on different surfaces. So I work on watercolor paper, wood. So I've done some tin items. It's really great. I have so much fun with it. I just can't, I got to keep doing it. I can't stop. So yesterday we worked on, let's see here, this tag. We worked on this tag yesterday and got that done. So if you're wondering where this video is, it's on my YouTube channel. It's part 1. So go check that out. Just look for the Porch and Petal part 1. So we did that one. Today we're going to work on the red house, and then we'll work on these 2 next week. So come back for those next week. And in the meantime, I hope to create some more. I'd like to do some Halloween tags. So like send some happy juju my way to get that done, because I don't have a lot of time. I've got a lot of other things going on, but I really would love to do that with you guys. We do have, it's like, for any of you that aren't familiar with the terms sometimes we use as decorative painters, we do have a pattern packet. I call them e-patterns, it's a digital e-pattern, and it is available for purchase on our website. And it looks like this. This is just one that I printed out. So it gives you like the full color photos. You get close-ups on the back side there, and then you get your full instructions. Let me see if I can get the front of the instructions here. Here's the front. Okay, so you get the instructions, and it gives you the whole list of things you need. Plus, you get a worksheet. I like fill my pattern packets with lots of information for you. So it gives you a step-by-step worksheet. So you have like 1, 2, this is what we did yesterday. And then you have the 4th one is the main photo. So the step 4, and we're going to be working on this house today. Step 4 will be the main photo. And then, it just kind of goes step by step through all the colors. I also include a technique sheet, which talks about how I do my innovative paint and pencil together. Let's see if I can, here's the front of the technique sheet. So the front of the technique sheet, I include this with all my patterns because it is a must read. If you're going to do this on your own, this will kind of help you understand some of the terminology. And there's the other side. So that's so nice to have those in one place. If you're interested, you can purchase the e-pattern off our website, and it's an instant download. As soon as you purchase it, it will give you an email that has the instant download for you. And I even have instructions on how to download if you're not familiar how to do that, and working with PDFs and that kind of thing. There's also, I cut this one up because I've been using it, but there's also your line drawings and a shading guide. So this is actually the shading guide. It has the little dots that represent where you need to do your shading. And then this one has the line drawing. So you can use that for transferring your pattern. And we did some transferring yesterday, so we'll do it again today for all of you that aren't familiar how to do that. So we're working on watercolor paper. I like to use 130 weight watercolor paper that is cold pressed, which means it has texture. I'm just gonna look at this. It's actually 140 weight, I'm sorry. 140 weight cold press watercolor paper. So there you guys got kind of a feel for how the e-pattern goes. If that's something you're interested in, just go to our website at erikajoanne.com, and it's ErikaJoanne.com. And on the front page there, we'll have all the information and links to where you can purchase the stuff. Okay, so I cut out my pattern here. I wanted to show you before I get started too. So these come, I also make these little surfaces available if you like the convenience. Some people just love that convenience of having it already pre-printed on a piece of watercolor paper. And so if you're like interested in that, let me see if I can find one that's not done up yet. Oh, looks like all mine are done up. Oh. Hold on for a second, I'll go get it. Oh, I got them. Thank you. Okay, so if you like that convenience of purchasing the surface already pre-cut and etched for you, you can purchase this set from us for $3.95. Isn't that what it was? I think that's what it is, $3.95. So it's on our website. It all comes as a set for you. If you really like that convenience, I know some of you do. Some of you don't really like tracing, which is totally fine. So we're going to go ahead and trace this just so you know how to do it. And someone said that they're using die cuts to cut theirs. I think that's a fabulous idea. You'll need a little bit of blue tape. You'll want to trace, before you start tracing, you want to tape everything down. Put your item or your surface where you want it. And then go ahead and put your graphite paper underneath it. You want the dark side down on your graphite paper. And then when you're tracing, be careful that you don't put your fingernails, like you want to be careful because that can also transfer onto your watercolor paper. And it's sometimes kind of hard to get off depending on the graphite paper that you're using. Sometimes it can be a little hard. I almost recommend when you're working on watercolor paper to use a non-waxy graphite paper. There are two different types of graphite paper, the non-waxy and the waxy. The waxy has wax in it, and it's a little hard to get off when you do accidentally transfer it in the wrong place. The non-waxy is more just like you're dealing with graphite. The caveat is the non-waxy sometimes can kind of smear and smudge around on your watercolor paper, so you have a little bit of erasing to do, but it does come off fairly easy. So there's those two different types. You also want a nice pointed stylus. So I like mine nice and pointed, or you could use a ballpoint pen. And then go ahead and transfer all those lines as carefully as you can. When I teach online, I love to go from start to finish with you guys because I figure I have to do this anyway and I don't like homework. So maybe it takes me back from when I was a kid. I don't know. I just don't like homework. So I will just do this with you since I have to do it anyway, right? I might as well transfer everything I need to. If you happen to have those ones that are already pre-cut, you just hang out there and wait for us as we're transferring. So thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. It's been really fun so far. And this is a whole new experience for me to be on YouTube. I've done Facebook for a number of years and just have been nudged by several people that are close to me that I need to make that jump over to YouTube. So here I am. All right, I'm going to do all the details So sometimes I skip around because I'm an artist. I kind of do that. I'm not super methodical. That's what artists do. They skip around sometimes. Okay, I'm going to just check and see. This is why you do lay it down and tape it, because then you can see what you've done. Yeah, I am so happy to have a beautiful sky out there. Boy, here in Western Washington, you never know. Even during the summer, I remember some summer months, we just didn't even have a summer. It was rain, rain, rain the whole time. Okay, did I get all that? Oh, I have one more little flourish on this vine. Okay, I got the house. I'm going to do the flowers first, then I'll go finish off with the house. Oh, I don't know why, but I sometimes get quiet while I'm tracing. You're concentrating so much, right? I don't want to make a mistake. Okay, got this. So I worked up a design for one of our certified teachers to teach at a convention next year. And it was a convention I was hoping to go to myself and teach, but our daughter just had a baby and just want to be home. I feel like I need to. Sometimes you know how you get those feelings about things. I just kind of listen to my gut. I always tell my kids, listen to your gut. Something just told me I need to be home. So I have one of our teachers going to teach at this show. It's the Painting and Craft Expo in Alabama next year. It's in, let's see, I think it's in, I want to say April or May. I can't remember. It might be May. Anywho, so she's submitting. I'm not saying that she's teaching because, it goes through a judging process and they have to figure all that out. So we'll see. I hope she gets in. So I will be around and we'll keep trying to do some lives with you where I can fit them in. Okay, just keep working on all these little details. But anyway, I was going back to this design. So I really loved the drawing, but when you go to put the color on, sometimes it doesn't always come out like you envisioned. So I struggled and struggled and struggled with that design. I worked on it solid for 2 days and I was just like not going to give it up. I was going to keep working on it until I got it, and I did finally pull it together, and I really like the results. But boy, that one was a hard one. It was like playing tug of war with me. No, that's not the right color. This is. I mean, I went back and forth. So designing is not always as easy as one might think. I think sometimes people think, well, you're an artist, you can just whip that right up. No. We struggle at it sometimes. I think all my artist friends out there can relate. Okay, I got the pattern on. I'm happy with that. Looks good. Move that up there. You can see the lines are fairly light. And I don't have any smudging. That's why I really like that graphite paper. So I'm gonna probably have to sell that on in my store. Okay. So this is a red house out of the Porch and Petal gift tags. And I've heard some different ideas of what we could do with the gift tags. And I was saying yesterday, or the last time I was on, that you could do a garland. I think this would be so sweet as a little garland, like under a shelf or something, or even attached to a shelf. I think that would be really cute. You could make cards, greeting cards out of the designs. These are just like gift tags. I think they would be really cute. Like if you were going to give a friend some flowers, this would be really cute attached to the planter, of the flowers with maybe your signature on the back or something. So have fun with it. You're welcome to zoom up the pattern or reduce it and have fun with it. You can use it for creating things to sell at craft shows, gift shows. You're welcome to do that. I just don't want to see it at Walmart or, or somewhere, I just don't want someone to steal the design and do some heavy manufacturing with it. So this is for like, just making some money on the side, and you certainly can use these designs to create some things up and then sell them at like farmers markets, or maybe you have some Christmas shows that you're going to be doing. This would be really cute. Wouldn't it be cute if you did all 4 tags and put them in a little package and sold them? I would probably, if I put all these tags in a package, I'd probably sell all of those for at least $12. So anyway, I know you're probably thinking, what? But it's artwork, right? You put your time and energy into it, it's artwork. Well, I haven't caught your comments, so I'm gonna kind of look on my other computer and see if I can catch your comments here. See if I can find you. Let's see. Oh, okay, there I see them. Yay! I'm learning. So Brenda says it's hot there. Smoky for Liz. Linda, she says hi from Arkansas. Jackie, all the pattern packets are great. Thank you, Linda, or Jackie. And Kim, love painting with Erika. She's a wonderful teacher with great designs. I've learned a lot. Thank you, Kim. Alice, she says patterns are great. They are really so complete with information. I really try. I want to make sure you guys have everything you need. And Robin says hello from Dreary, Illinois. Dreary, oh no. Cordelia, hello from Virginia. Jackie says, I hope you continue with YouTube. I plan to. Is it cold there? I do have a sweater on. The temperatures are dropped. Like I can tell the weather is fighting with itself, because the other day it was really hot and I was in shorts and a t-shirt, but today I have a sweater on. So yeah, it's kind of the temperatures are trying to drop. Where I'm at, we do my husband's like, well, she likes to wear sweaters. It is nice outside, but 70s, like that's kind of feels cold to me sometimes, especially when you're inside the house. If I was outside, maybe. Yeah. Oh, it's good to see you guys. Okay. We are trying to create the watercolor look. I've had a few different people ask, why do you paint like that? And I'm crazy. That's why. I don't know. I just enjoy it, and I wanted to create some open spots in each element of the design to give it the look of watercolor. The Jo Sonja paints are an acrylic gouache, and they do have qualities similar to acrylic gouache or regular gouache, watercolor gouache. It's not exactly the same as watercolor. There are a few little things that aren't exactly the same, but the Jo Sonja paints can go on opaquely. You can do some wonderful things with them, and I love that versatility. And I work with them. That's my primary company I work with. So I'll show you just an example for any of you new to my work of something that you can do with the Jo Sonja paints and making something more opaque. So we're doing transparent washes. So this is something you can do with the Jo Sonja paints. You can see it goes on opaquely. So that's kind of fun too. And this is also paint and color pencil combined. And you can see more of my work on my website. I've got a library there of different patterns and e-patterns and kits, all kinds of things. We even sell a lot of the supplies that you need. So we sell the paint, we sell the colored pencils. We use Prismacolor Premier, and we sell like some of the supplies that, like other supplies, like your sharpening and erasing, all the things that you need for colored pencils, and then the things you need for painting. And you would just look that up under painting supplies or penciling supplies on our website. So you can check it out. I try to keep the new stuff, the homepage updated with the new items that are coming out. And so you can kind of, if you hit the homepage, you can usually see what's going on recently with us. We are in the we are doing the Secret Garden Whimsy for our art subscription box right now, and we're coming on up to the last box of this year. And then we're going to be opening up our Whimsy group for next year. We're going to do a 6-month run each time now. So it will be 6 projects, 6 months. And it's looking like we're going to be doing The Little Mermaid as our theme. We also read the book. So we'll read the original book along with doing our artwork. So it's really fun. It's immersive. It's really fun if you like that kind of thing. You like to interact with other people in the group. Be thinking about that. You'll see some emails about it in October. Right now, we are talking about the VIP group, which is a whole different group. The VIP group has discounts and they have an access to digital items online, a digital library. So we're opening that group up right now so you guys can have a chance to get into that group if you're kind of wanting to get into the art subscription, because you get a 10% off the art subscription box. And that counts toward the early bird price, which is really great. You get a significant amount off. So if you're interested in both groups, now's the time to join the VIP so you can get the discounts for the art subscription box for next year. Robin says, have you shown any of your Secret Garden finished pieces on Facebook? I don't know that I have. I'll show you some though. Let's see here. I know some of you want to start painting, so I won't take too much time. I'll just show a few things here. Let's see if I can pull it out. I got my files here. Okay, so one thing that we've done is we've done this ornament, because if you've read the Secret Garden book, you know that there's a bird in the Secret Garden. So this is an ornament that we did recently. This is Robin Redbreast. There's a little bird in the book, and so we wanted to have that. So that's a fun one, little key that goes with it. So that was one of our projects. I'll show you one more. How about that? Let's see. There were so many. I can show you. Which one? Okay. How about, well, this one. This one is coming up. We haven't done it yet, but it's the fairy hideaway. And some of the ladies really wanted fairies in their garden. So we kind of loosely base our projects off of what is in the book. And the book doesn't necessarily talk about fairies, but we all talked about our gardens that we would want, and some of us said we want fairies. So this is the fairy hideaway. This is coming up here soon. We're going to be doing that in October. These projects will stay in the group for another year. I mean, we'll start releasing some of the projects next year. We just kind of we don't release them all at once. They kind of go throughout the year. We release, and we're still not releasing. We're not done releasing all the projects from last year, so we got to do that. Okay, I'm gonna put that away and get painting. So, all right, so you need a round brush. And like I said yesterday, if you're new to this, just use what you have. I use Jo Sonja. If you're interested in some of the things I use Jo Sonja Select Round. This is a number 3. You can find these on our website. But I encourage you to use what you have to get started and just kind of get a feel for it. And, you know, then you can start investing in some of the tools and supplies that we have. Okay, so you want your round, and we're gonna start out, how about we start out with our yellow, just like we did yesterday. And we'll go ahead and get our colors on our palette. And yesterday we put too many colors on the palette, so we're not gonna do that today. We're going to be more careful about that. Okay, so you want a little chocolate chip. We're not using very much for these tags, so just a little bit there. And then we have this celadon color. I love this color. Just need a little bit of that. Rose pink. This is another color I've discovered recently, and I just absolutely adore this color. It comes out, you see, it almost comes out like a red, but it has pink qualities to it, so I love it. It's kind of like a soft, almost like a soft red. Okay, so we got the red, and we need green, so we need pine green. Pine green. Just a little bit there. And then I think we need black and then the amethyst. So we'll do black last. So we'll do amethyst. That's this color, amethyst. Beautiful purple. And gotta find my black. And my carbon black. Okay. Hello, Maggie. Hello from Arkansas. And thank you, Robin. We've been having a lot of fun in that Secret Garden Whimsy group. Lots of fun. Okay, so let's go ahead with our Turner's Yellow first. We're going to put all our paints on, our paint colors on first, and then we'll move over to the color pencil. And I'm going to wash down my yellow, but I'm not going to do it very much. Not like I do with the other colors. I want this to be semi-opaque because the yellow looks nice, brighter if it's underneath the gold or the glitter. That's what I'm trying to say. It looks a little better under the glitter. So go ahead and just paint your petals on the large flower. This is Turner's Yellow. your paint is almost full strength. There is a little bit of moisture in it, but it's almost full strength. And I'm just filling in the whole petal. We'll do it a little bit differently with the rest of the elements. But with the yellow, we just fill it all in. We've got another flower down here. We want to get the petals. There we go. All right, we can rinse out our brush. Okay, the next color, let's use our Celadon. And that is the second color here. We're going to water that down though. Pull that out from the main chocolate chip there and water it down really well so you can start to see through it. It should be milky consistency, a milky consistency, and you can slightly see through it. I also like to have a little scrap piece of watercolor paper to touch my color on, make sure I'm not too dark or not too light. Okay, you can always add more pigment to it, but it's harder to go lighter. Okay, you can take out some of your moisture, and if you can see, like I do have like a little thing of water right there. You want to try to get that off so it doesn't fall down into your piece. So as you're working on these other elements, I'm going to see if I can bring it down a little more. That's probably the best. Okay, as I'm working on these little elements, I'm going to leave a few little open spots where I've left them open and there's no color. Okay. I'm going to see if I can do this. I don't know if it'll work or not. Well, hopefully it will. I want to zoom in a little bit so you can see. Is it working? Is it focused enough? I hope it's focused enough. Okay, so we do that top one, skip this leaf, and then move over to the next one. Same thing, leave a few little open spots. As you color it in, move to the next one, same thing, a few little open spots. I'm just getting the look of watercolor. Okay, and then the next one is the bottom one. A few little open spots there too. Okay, and then let's move over. We've got a big leaf right here that is blue. Jo Sonja paints. Some, like an opaque gouache. Okay, and then there's one right here. If you haven't heard this before, I know I've told it on some of my lives, but the Jo Sonja company is based in Eureka, California. They're near the redwoods. And Jo Sonja, she's in her 80s now, but she's still teaching classes there. She has like a yearly little seminar type thing where you can go and stay the week and enjoy painting with her. Her work is exquisite. That's the best way I can describe it. It's amazing. I'm going back and just deepening the color at the base of some of these leaves. And it's just a really fun. I've been able to go and paint with her. It's so fun, and I wish I could just go every year. Oh my goodness, I would love it. Um, but she's amazing, and she paints like different kind of historical styles, but she uses her own style. She uses the historical painting as like inspiration, and then she does her own thing. And she has like a little museum in their painting studio. You can go in and check out the museum. She has all kinds. I mean, like, this lady's a prolific painter. She's just a history of wonderful painting. She's done books and all kinds of things. And if you go to her website, you can see all that she has to offer. It's pretty neat. So she developed this paint line with the help of Chroma, which is a paint company that creates paint, and they're the manufacturers. And they worked with her, and it was back before like computers and all that. So they did everything by snail mail and worked for 3 years back and forth, speaking by mail until they got what she wanted. So she worked real hard on this paint line. It's amazing. Next color. Let's do the rose pink. So anyway, it's thrilling to go check her out and see what's going on there and to use their paint line. I just love it. I love that they're a family-owned business. I love their paint colors, and anyone that I know that has used the Jo Sonja line and learned how to use it, just love it. Love it, love it, love it. And it works so well with what I do with a colored pencil because it does dry to a matte finish. They don't have all the sealers and just different additives in their paint. So it dries to a velvety matte finish, which is a perfect surface for colored pencils. So I'm moving into my rose pink. Same thing, just gonna use my brush to kind of dot around and leave some open spots here and there. Okay, that went on a little dark for me, so I can always kind of go back and just press it with a paper towel, and it does lighten it if you get it while it's still wet. So I'm going to lighten down my wash. It needs to be a little lighter. Okay, moving to the next red flower. One time we went to her studio, and they were actually having like a seminar there. They didn't know we were coming. And my husband, being the curious person he is, he was like walking around outside because we didn't know how to get in. Anyway, we were roaming around. And so inside they were like, there's a strange man walking around the studio. So they were a little nervous about it, but then they found it was just us. Hmm. I thoroughly enjoy working with them, and they're very supportive. So the Jo Sonja paint line is a system of paint. They do have like the varnishes and the sealers and all that, the mediums that you need. And if you follow along with me or one of my teachers, you can learn a lot more about all the different products that are there to, help you along your painting journey. Okay, let's do the house. The same thing, you'll want to work around the elements. You're going to work around the window there. Leave some little open spots here and there. So fun and relaxing. I love it. It's like peaceful painting. Okay, there is red right in this area. Let's see if I can pull my camera down. There we go. There's red right in this area between the flower and the leaves. Keep working here. Like I said on Thursday when we were working on our first piece, each one of these that you do is going to come out a little different because your open spots are going to be in different places. They'll all look different, and that's okay. It's fun, super fun. All right. You can go back in and add more pigment here and there. You want the colors to look variegated. So there's like light areas, dark areas. You want it to kind of work like that. Okay. So for this next part, we're going to put these little, see these little checkers all the way around? I want to put those on with the same color. So I'm going to pull up my paper here so it's loose. While I'm getting ready to do that, I'm going to show you something. So sometimes I get happy mail. Like I try to send happy mail out to all of you guys, but sometimes I get happy mail. And I want to show you my latest happy mail. It was so precious. So I got a card, you know. Who doesn't like getting a card or something in the mail? It's so awesome. So I got a card, said Erica, right? I won't read it to you because, yeah, but I'll just show you the card. I thought it was so cute. So she says, thank you. This is from Debbie. Sometimes I want to call her Deborah, but Debbie first. I wanted to just give a shout out to her. That was just so sweet to send this to me. So she's in my whimsy group, and we have a design that we did called Bristol Butterfly, because you know we all want butterflies in our garden. So she created this, and I'm just so in love because I don't get to do stitchery very often. I'm, you know, pretty immersed in my painting world. And but I love stitchery. And I actually, before I got into my painting stuff, I was really into stitchery, and I went to some of the conventions. I loved it. Love, love, love it. So she sent me her little creation that she did, and I wanted to show you. Isn't that so sweet? She said it reminded her of the Bristol butterfly from our secret garden group. And she it even made this little pin. I don't even know how you would do that. I think it's so sweet. There must be a special way to do that. But cute, cute little pin cushion. Just love it. So a lot of work. It has a little saying. I'm going to read the saying for you. It says, summer breezes lift lacy wings. Summer breezes lift lacy wings. So sweet. So thank you, Debbie. That was just adorable. So thankful for you guys. And it's just it's just a surprise to get happy mail. I love it. Thank you so much. Then I wanted to show you something else. I had my sister come visit me, and it was kind of a surprise. I come from a big family. I'll back up the truck a little bit. I come from a big family, and I'm the oldest, and our youngest sister out of 10 kids has Down syndrome, and her name is Keely, and she is the spunkiest, sassiest little thing you ever met. She's also very sweet. She has a kind, gentle heart, but she's spunky and sassy. And I've told you guys this over and over, but I'm going to say it again because it makes me think we need to rethink the way we think of ourselves, right? You know, here she has Down syndrome. Life is not exactly the way she'd want it. She doesn't have all her hair, a lot of it is fallen out. She loves long, beautiful hair and would love to be a princess. And so she doesn't have that. And there's a lot of things that she's missing, right? She would love to have a boyfriend, and she doesn't have that either. So one day I was talking to her, and I called all my kids honey. Like ever so often, you know, I'd be talking to them and I'd say, hey, hun, or hey, honey. And so I said that to Keely, hey, hun. And she was like, no, hot stuff. Call me hot stuff. So she doesn't want to be called hun or honey. She wants to be called hot stuff. And it just made me think like our perspective on life sometimes, you know, about ourselves. Like what do we say to ourselves? In her mind, she's saying hot stuff. I'm hot stuff. So I'm trying to learn lessons from her, but she's a little artist herself. And I'll show you, I don't have her work with me right here, but I told her, teach me how to do your artwork. I want to see your artwork and I want to do it too. So she showed me how. This is her artwork. Well, this is actually my artwork, but this is her style. She does little boxes and she colors them. You see that? Into different, like she has all these different pens, pinks and yellows and oranges and reds. So this is what she's doing right now. And she just creates all the boxes and then she colors them in. So that's what I did with her. And then I took some glitter and put it on one of my yellow boxes. And I put a heart in mine because that's what she does some of these collages with hearts too. So I wanted to think of her. But I told her I wanted to do the glitter, and I said, you want to do glitter on yours too? I can give you some glitter. And she's like, no, I don't want glitter. So she don't like the glitter. But that's Keely's style of painting. It's so sweet. I love it. Okay, can't get enough of that girl. She surprised us and came and spent a day with us. It was great. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and do these little checkers around the edges. Okay. So what you do, this is all freehand. Don't be scared. It's not that hard. It's really easy. If you look at mine, they are not perfect. Look how they are. They're like spaced out, funky, like some are close together, some are farther apart. They're different values. And I kind of actually like that. I love the different values and I love that they're not super perfect. So we're doing watercolor. We're trying to be loose, right? So you're going to just put in these little marks like that. Kind of just touch your paintbrush. And I just do a few strokes like that. And then go around, just move around. Some of those strokes can be closer together. Make sure they're just really nice and short. See how short they are? They're like 1/8 of an inch. And then some of them can be spaced out. And this is also still with the rose pink color. You're just going to carefully go around your piece like so. And some of them can be like, you know, like I said, spaced farther apart. Some are closer. Just lightly touch those. Now I'm going to stop for just a second, and I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to press on, lightly press on a few of them. And that pulls up some of the colors so I get a little variegation. See how this one's a little darker here, and then you go down, it's lighter. So that just kind of helps with that. I love that it's not all exactly the same in value. Just short little strokes. Some can be wider, some can be thinner. And just work around. And I'm working off of that inner line. There's like an outer line and an inner line. And then just go back and touch up some of them. We'll go back and darken a few when we're done, because I want some of them darker. Just short little strokes, random strokes. Okay, going all the way around. There we go. Okay, I think I'll pull up some color off of those. Okay, now you can go back and revisit some of those, and it's just still, it's random, and just darken up some of those strokes. That was a little dark, but yeah, so here and there, just go back in and add a little more color to some of those. Okay, so see how they're kind of variegated as you go around. There's just different values of that same color. That is rose pink, Jo Sonja's rose pink. Okay. How are you guys doing? How's everyone doing? Oh, hi, Janet. I know, I missed Palooza too, but guess what? Our daughter was having a baby. It was great. We loved it. But we did miss everyone at Palooza. Looks like everyone had a great time there. Okay. Oh, I wanted to thank everyone for liking our channel. We are over 500 subscribers. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. So thank you so much for helping us with that. We appreciate it. Okay, let's see. The next color is the pine green. You guys doing okay? Put something in the chat if you're ready to move forward. Hey, Karen. We are working on our second tag in the series of 4 tags, the Porch and Petal tags. We're working on our second one, and we have 2 more we'll do next week, and then if I can pull it together, I'll have some Halloween ones coming. Oh. All right, let's go ahead and move on with our pine green. Here's pine green right here. Just gonna pull that from our chocolate chip area, make it a little petal. Don't be afraid to add water. Some of you have a hard time with this. Just pull it out and put some water in it. Isn't that a beautiful green? Oh, just love it. Okay, I always touch a little bit on my paper towel before I come to my piece to take out some of the excess moisture. You can always use like a piece of scrap watercolor paper to test your color also. We're going to go in and do all our green leaves. So that's the remaining leaves, and they're done the same way. You also want to do the bottom of this flower. There's a little green bulb at the base. Leave some spots as you're working. Got a little extra moisture there, so you can just take some of the moisture out on a paper towel and come back. Play with the color. Okay, I'm working up here now. And also we got the base of this flower here. Just gonna leave that like that. And I'm just working down. The rest of the leaves are green. Leave a little open spot in each one, or a few open spots. And then we have some here too. We also have this flower that's coming out of the window, and I forgot, but one of the leaves is blue. So I'm gonna do this left leaf with green, leaving my open spots there. And then I'll save that one for the blue. You can go back in and darken like the base of some of your leaves. Okay, go back to my blue. Add a blue leaf here. Okay. We also forgot the door. My goodness. I just was hurrying right along. So, okay, the door is blue also. We'll work around our little window. Leave some open spots here and there. You can go right over the doorknob. And then down to the bottom here. All right. A little bit extra, you can add some more color there. It does dry lighter. It tends to dry lighter, so. Right. It's looking cute so far. I love it. Feeling joy. Feeling joy. Okay, so the last color is our black. Oh, we do have amethyst too. Ah. Okay, let's do amethyst. Let's pull that out, water it down. And you can just fill in, yeah, you can just fill in this area. Let's go ahead and fill it all in with the amethyst. I'm going to water down my color a little bit. It's a small area, so I'm not really worried about the open spots there. Okay, let's fill that in with the purple. And then you have another little purple spot right here on this flower. Get that filled in too. Okay. Okay, let's see what's going on. You like that idea, Alice? I think so too. I think Halloween would be fun. So, let's see what I can pull together. 4 more tags? Why not? I'm also going to be getting ready for the Pinners show. We have one more show this year, and it's in Salt Lake. So we'll be there on the trade floor. And then that will be it for us for trade shows. We'll be actually retiring from the trade show part of my business, and it's bittersweet. That's all I can say. It's bitter and sweet. I'm sad about it because there's something kind of fun and magical about getting on the road and traveling and doing a show. It's a ton of work though. So I won't miss that at all. I won't miss all the extra work. But will miss my friends, seeing all my friends. But that doesn't mean we're not going to go to the trade shows, because we will. Once in a while, we'll go to a trade show. We won't be on the trade floor. We won't have a booth, is what I'm saying. We won't have a booth on the trade floor, but we will be at some of the trade shows. So if you don't know, there's all these painting shows around the country. There's not a ton of them, but there are a few. And they're worthwhile to go to, especially if you've never been to one. It's amazing. So there's one, I'll tell you all the ones that I know of. There's probably more, but the ones I know about, there is one in Portland, and it's called the Pacific Decorative Painters Expo. And that is in I want to say March or April next year. I can't remember. It's early spring. I don't remember the dates. I should put those on my website. And then there is one, let's see, one in Alabama. It's a fairly new show. And that is like May, I want to say, May. And then there's one in OKC, Oklahoma, and that's in August. And one in Massachusetts, Marlborough, Massachusetts, and that's in October. So it's like a perfect time to see the fall colors if you're out that way, or have that on your bucket list. You should go to the painting show too. Go check it out. So yeah, I'll have to put those on my website, all the dates and the times and everything, so you guys know what's going on. But they always have classes at these shows, and they have a trade floor. It's just pretty cool, pretty neat to do. Lots of different artists, lots of different types of artists, and lots of different varied levels of skill. So you can take beginner to advanced classes. Okay, let's go on with our carbon black. I'm watering that down a lot because I want it to be like a dark gray. I don't want it to be black black. I want it to be a dark gray. So I'm really putting a lot of water here. Let's try it out on our tester sheet. See where we're at. Yeah, that's about what I want. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the roof. Leave some spots here and there. And bring it down. There. Okay, that's a little light, so I'm going to go back in and add a little more pigment here and there because it's nice to have that variegation going on. Okay. And then we have our window there. We have two windows actually. So again, I'm going to go back in with a little more color. And then we have this window down here, this little porthole. It's kind of a small window, so I'm not too worried about the open spots there. It's pretty small. Right. Fun. So you can see up close here what's going on. See if I can make sure this is brighter. There we go. That's better. Okay. I think I'm going to cut mine out. Where's my scissors? Oh, there they are. I'm going to use my smaller scissors. It's kind of nice to have a pair of small snips to do this little cutting. Or like one of our friends was saying, like you could have a tag, what are they called? A tag punch. Like a hole punch, but it punches tags. Maybe have that in your stash. Yeah, with the smaller scissors, you can get around the corners a little easier. Make sure everything's dry. I think I might have to go back and recut some areas. Maybe that are ski-wompish. Right here. And here. Yeah, get it as oval as you can. I wouldn't mind having one of those little punches too myself. There. Okay, good enough. So you can find like a hole punch to punch that little hole out of there. That's not really like a regular letter size punch. It's not a regular size. It's a smaller one, like a craft punch. I know they make like heart punches too. That would be cute as a little heart there. So at the top of your tag, yeah, you just want to punch that out. Okay, almost there. Fun. Okay, we're going to start in with our color pencil and get some of the little details in there. We have two pencils for this project. We have the Kelly Green. These are Prismacolor Premier. Prismacolor Premier, Kelly Green. And the number is 1095. And we also have light umber, and this is 941. So we'll start out with our Kelly Green. Make sure to sharpen that. I like to use a grinding sharpener. It just makes it so your pencils, you just don't break your pencils as easy. Let me say that again. You don't break your pencils as easy in a grinding sharpener. Those are the kind of sharpeners that you had when you were a kid in school. You know, you go to the wall and sharpen your pencils. Those are the kind of sharpeners I'm talking about. You can either have a hand crank one or a grinding or a battery one. They do make them with batteries, so kind of nice. Let's go ahead and put in our vines. If you have a nice sharp pencil, you can follow those lines carefully. Little swirls. Bring it on down and to the bottom. Okay. Nice. Okay, and then you have this one here. There's a vine or a stem right there for your flower. And another little stem going on here. There's one there that goes into the roof, and then this one comes all the way down to the bottom. Okay, let's go back in and just kind of the ends of these little flourishes, we want to create a little bulb on the end of both of those. Just make it a little bigger. And oh, you have this stem too here, coming out of the window. Comes up and comes down. And then also, trying to think, the little vein lines will do with the other color. So let me make sure, look at my instructions. I can't remember if we shade those leaves or not. Yes, we do. Okay, so make sure you have a nice sharp pencil again. We're going to shade the base of each green leaf. Just the green ones. A little bit on the base of this bulb here. You can kind of lightly line around it. Dale was saying my hand is like doing that focus thing again. I'm going to try not to activate that. Okay, here's a little bit here on this base and here too. and it's just ever so lightly. I'm just barely touching the surface. And where I want it darkest, I use a little more pressure. Where I want it lighter, I want it to fade as I go up into the leaf. If you want a refresher in part 1, we kind of go over that a little more. So you can go to part 1 on how to shade. So a little more pressure down at the base of each leaf. And then you want it to just lighten up as it goes into the rest of the area. And right here too, here's the base of the leaf. Base of the leaf, all the green leaves. A little bit, just a little bit at the bottom. And I'm using just a very light touch, even with my darker value. Just a little bit, okay? And that's all we need to do with our green pencil. Kelly Green. You're welcome, Darlene. Thank you. Thanks for being here. I'm finding it really fun. I love being here with you guys. Okay. Our next color is light umber. I'm going to give you a chance to get all this done here. Light umber. We'll finish it up. So fun. Yeah, this would be really cute to put on a housewarming gift for someone, especially if they had a red house. Teasing. Fun, fun, fun. If you haven't liked our channel, make sure and go like it and then subscribe. What do they say? Hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, please. Pretty please. That would be great. If you hit the subscribe button, you'll get notifications of when I'm on or when I've added a video. So if you're interested in what we do here, then you can always go check that out. Now these videos are going to stay up for a year. I can't keep them up forever because I have teachers and they would like to teach some of these projects. And if they're all online, you know, as videos, it doesn't work very well for them. So they won't stay up forever. So if it's something that you're wanting to come back and do and you want to look at the videos, make sure you try to get it in before we take them down. So I'll just kind of keep track of them. I know September is when these came up. They'll go down next September. Oh, thank you guys. Awesome. Thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up too. That's great. Thank you. I do have one thumbs up. That's good. I have one. Maybe I'll like mine too. Now we have two. Fun, fun. Okay, let's get our light umber pencil out. I want to make sure this is like pointy sharp. Sharpen it good. Okay, so let's start by adding this border around. So we'll get that border in. And you can lightly do that. I want you to be careful not to go in too hard with your pencils. If you do, it will start to look, I don't know, not as natural, not as artsy. So, like in some areas, you could have it darker, and then some, just kind of like with your watercolor. Some areas are darker, some areas are lighter, some areas you skip along. we're just putting the border in all the way around with our light umber pencil. Okay. Nice. And then, like I said, some areas are a little darker and more defined, and some are like a little lighter. If you have like little crumbs, sometimes they can get embedded in your work, so you want to scoot those away with a little soft brush. And if you need to, have like a little eraser. You can erase. I always like to take the junk off my eraser before I put it on my piece. I see I have something right here. I don't know what it is. Something by that flower. So you can go in and erase and then softly move things out off your piece. Okay, we got that done. Let's work on this stem. I'm going to start up at the top, make sure I have my little vein line, and I can lightly line around my flower, but I'm not going to do the whole thing. So here and there, you're going to have a line. Leave some to the imagination. Okay, and then you'll want to put these little decorative lines on the inside of the flower. A little bit of lining on the outside there. And let's also go back up and we're going to shade the base of the blue leaves now. Just lightly, ever so lightly, down at the base. We'll do them all. How about we do all the ones that are blue on this vine. And we can add the little vein lines to all the blue leaves there on this vine. Okay. And now we're going to repeat some of our lining on our stem. So I'm going to make this a little darker. And this one, the little ends, a little darker. And right here at the stem. And then here and there on our stem, a little darker. Now you can go back and line the green leaves too. Okay. If needed, you can also lightly line around some of the leaves. I would kind of keep it conservative. You don't need to do too much. Just here and there in the darkest areas. Okay. Now let's move over to this yellow flower that's coming out of the roof. I wish I had a big yellow flower coming out of my roof. I'm deepening the line right here and here. I'm going to slightly line around the center and around each petal. Slightly. Slightly and lightly. I skip my line along a little bit. Looks more natural that way. Okay. Okay. And our vein lines in both leaves, and then the shading at the bottom of the blue leaf. And then slightly around portions of the leaf. Okay, and then we have this section here. So our little decorative lines in the flowers, slightly around my flowers. A little bit of shading and put a little more on the base right there of the stem. And a slight little line around the leaf and the vein line there. And then coming on down, we'll work on the last flower on the side here, a little bit around the flower. I'm just touching like a feather the surface. You can put a little shading there if needed. And then go down each, work on each leaf, adding some color at the base and slightly lining around the leaves. Keep it as light as possible. Okay. There's a little bit around this inner leaf too. And then let's widen our stem at the base. Oh, thank you guys. Yes, Alice says, doing great. Another stress-free project. Stress-free project to keep us painting. I think important to do simple little things here and there, right? Because that just brings you joy right away. It gives you that instant joy. And then you can tackle those more advanced pieces or more time-consuming pieces that have a lot going on. But if you want that kind of instant joy, you want to create something fun for a friend, you know, this is a quick little project for you. Liz says turkey tabs. I love it, Liz. If we made a turkey one, you could put it on your turkey and when you take it to your family's house or your friend's house. Thank you, Jackie. She says it's so relaxing watching Erika paint and listening to her stories. I got to keep looking for stories. I need more stories. I have one for you. I'll tell you in a second. Jackie says the tags could be cut out of her silhouette cameo. Nice. Thank you for the thumbs up. And Robin said she just refreshed and I had 16 thumbs up. Awesome. Yay. Liz. Oh, you guys are funny. Thank you for your support, you guys. Okay. We have a little more shading and lining to do on our house, and then we can get into the rest of our finishing. I keep like messing up the Zoom, so I'll try to keep my fingers away. But we're going to shade the bottom of each of the ends of the roof. Okay. little more pressure down at the bottom, and then bring it up. And then let's slightly line around the roof. Just here and there. You can leave some to the imagination. And then we have a little bit of shading up at the tip. Sharpen my pencil again. Okay, we have this window, so I definitely like lost my lines there, so I need to kind of add my lines around my window to straighten it out, make it look better. And here too. I would love to share your tags with other people because we don't really have a way to share them here on YouTube. I would love to put them in my email. So if you guys finish some tags, send me some pictures and I'll throw them in my email so people can see what we're doing. I think that would be lovely. Lovely. Okay, so I slightly lined up around that, clarified it. Let's put some shading in. We got a little bit down here in the corner. And then going up the side. You can work around your little open spots. Kind of up the other side. We'll put these window panes in with our pen, our white gel pen, when we're done. Okay. All right, that's good for shading. Let's go down to this door here and work around the edges. A little bit of lining around the edges. And help with that trim. Okay, and then we have a little bit of lining around the middle of our window. Okay, and some shading at the bottom of the window, a little bit there. And we have some shading at the tip of that door and coming down the left side a little more and a little less on the right side, just a little bit down the right side, a little more on the left side. Oh, we forgot to put our little doorknob in. We'll have to do that after we're done with our pencils. Okay, so a little shading down at the bottom of our door. Just work around all your little spots. You're just enhancing your work with your color pencils. There is a line I didn't get in, and that was this little flourish right here off of the flower. Use your green pencil to do that. There's also a little bit of work you want to do with your light umber pencil on that stem, at the base of the stem, and then right by the flower. And you can slightly line around your leaves, and the base of the leaves. Keep it light. Do your best to keep it light. And around your flower. A little bit around your flower. So when I was a kid, the chore we had to do during the summer when we were home from school was weed. None of us liked to weed. It was not pleasant, especially out in the hot California summer sun. Yeah, so my mom had these different flower beds, and we'd have to weed. Oh, heck, I'm just going to color this in with my color pencil. Just put in your doorknob there with your colored pencil. So yeah, I remember doing that, and we got smart and we started doing it in the morning before it got hot. And I remember just always thinking these weeds are gonna come back. And then I'm gonna have to weed again. Yeah. Summer chores. Okay, I'm gonna slightly line underneath my roof and bring some shading here at the tip down into the red area. I agree. I agree, Kathy. She says she still feels that way about weeding. I have to say though, we just bought a weeder off of Amazon, and it's amazing. It's called like Grandpa's Weeder or Grandpa's something. You guys know what I'm talking about? It like you just shove it over a weed, and then it has like a little kickstand on it, and you just put your foot on the kickstand and it just pops that weed out of the ground. Amazing. So we just got that. And it came in this huge long box. At Amazon, they always kind of overdo it a little bit. Like you buy one thing and it's like swimming around in this huge box, bouncing around in a box. So this box was huge for this tiny little weeder thing. My husband was like, "Oh my gosh, what did you order?" It's like a weeder. I don't know why they put it in such a big box. So I just slightly lined the sides there. Did you? Robin, you bought one similar to that this year? Yes. Yeah. There's like the grandpa's weeder, and then there's like another one that's like the same thing but a lot cheaper. I don't know. So there's a couple on there on Amazon that you can purchase. They're kind of the same thing. So yeah, I'm happy to have a nice easy weeder. They even make like a handheld one that you can use like when you're down on your hands and knees and trying to get into those smaller areas. They have one of those too. I might have to purchase that one too. We just want flowers around our house. We don't want a whole bunch of weeds. We have this one patch in our lawn, and I don't know why it's just in this one area. Thank goodness it's in a one little area. But it grows this weed that has the stickiest leaves on it. Like if you touch them, you will be sorry. They hurt. I'm really glad they're only in one little patch. I wish we could get rid of them though. Man, they keep coming back. If you step on them, whoo, sad day. Okay, I think we're good. What do you guys think? I think we're good. I might just kind of line around this so I remember where it's at. That's where I want to punch my hole. So, cute, cute, cute. Okay, so now we can use our pen and get our window panes in. This is, I'm going to repeat again, this is the Uniball Signo, and it's a gel pen. So you just need a white gel pen, okay? And I found that if you kind of start it and then you go lightly, like you don't press too hard, you could probably get it in 2 coats. So that's my first coat. Press too hard. It's a lot easier than using a brush. So I'm all in for shortcuts. And then if you need to kind of fix your trim, you can always fix it with this white gel pen. Okay, I'm going to let that dry a little bit, come down to this one, and I'll go back to it after it's dry and put another coat. You don't want to use too much pressure. It kind of, don't work against it. It'll do its thing if you don't push too hard. So I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to let it dry a little bit and put another coat on there. Make them a little thicker. There. Isn't that nifty? Love it. Okay, I'm going to go around this one. I didn't, kind of messed it up a little bit. Okay. There we go. Cute. Okay. So to finish it, we can put some fast drying glaze medium on it just to kind of finish it. If any of you don't know what that is, this is part of the Jo Sonja line. And my bottle's kind of messed up, but anyway, it's like got stuff all over it. But this is a fast drying glaze medium, and it's a clear seal. It's like a thin sealer is what it is. And I like to put that in a little mediums dish. I call it my mediums dish. It's really just like a little salt dish. So shake it up so it's nice and mixed. Shake, shake, shake. And then put that in your mediums dish. This light sealer will help set your pencils and your paint. You don't necessarily have to do it if you're just thinking this is kind of like it's a gift tag. I don't really care that much about it. But if it's something you want, like let's say you're giving it to a friend, you really want your friend to keep this as a memento for a while, then you'd want to put this sealer on. Okay, you want to have a brush, a soft brush. Mine's kind of wet, so I'm going to move over and see if I can't find one that's not wet. Yeah, I found one that's not wet. So you want it to be a dry, soft brush. I like this one because it has kind of like that filbert edge, kind of a tapered edge to it. I don't want to put any pressure down on my brush when I'm applying this fast drying glaze medium. This is going to set everything. I really don't want pressure on it. I don't want to rework it. I just want to lay it down because otherwise it will smear my pencil work. And I'm going to hold my brush at this side, okay, this end, so I don't put too much pressure on. I'm just going to lay the sealer down like that. Just lay it across and work it down, just like you're maybe painting a fence or something. You're just bringing it down like that. And if you don't put too much pressure on it, you don't overwork it, you'll be okay. You won't smear anything, okay? And also make sure everything's dry. So the gel pen, the gel pen stuff that you just did, you want to make sure that's dry before you put this on there. Okay? You can rinse it off, rinse your brush off. You could later even go back and put varnish over this. We usually do, like on a painted piece, we will add varnish. It's up to you. You know, if you want it to like last for a long time, then you could put varnish over it. You would want to do both sides though. Make sure you do both sides because you'll end up with it unfinished on one side and then finished on one side. You'll have too much of a curl. This curls already while it's drying. But yeah, you can, Jo Sonja makes a matte varnish. I'll show you what that looks like. Let's see. They have different varnishes. They have matte, satin, or gloss. So here's the matte varnish. It's a polyurethane, water-based, durable formulation for indoor and outdoor use. You guys are not going to find a better varnish. This stuff is amazing. So anyway, if you want a varnish, you can. It's all in the instructions. Look on the technique sheet. It talks all about the fast drying glaze medium and the varnish. Okay. I'm going to put glitter for sure. And I couldn't find my glitter the last time I was on, so I made sure to get some glitter here. And I have these little glitter shakers I use for my glitter. And we're going to put a little bling on it because I always have to do bling on my pieces. Gotta do the bling, gotta do the bling. So all-purpose sealer is my glue. That's what I use for my glue for glitter. Jo Sonja all-purpose sealer. You can just put a little bit of that on your palette. Again, shake it up good. Put it on your palette. You're going to take your little round brush and we want to make sure everything's dry. So hold on. Let me use my, guess what? I found my, yay, I found my Heat It tool. This thing is amazing. So I use that to dry everything. This is by Ranger, you guys. Ranger, if you don't have one, get one. You won't be sad. You'll love it. Okay. So take your round brush and just put the all-purpose sealer wherever you want your varnish. And I'm just going to put it on my yellow petals. If you want to do it differently, you can by all means do it however you wish. This is how I'm going to do it. So you can see I'm somewhat generous with the all-purpose sealer. It does dry clear. And I'm going to put some on this yellow flower down here too. Okay. And then a little shake, shake, shake. And this is the Opaline glitter. Shake, 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 shake. Okay, and then you can shake that off. And that will dry clear and you'll have nice sparkles. And then let's go ahead and put our little rhinestone up in the flower there. Got a jar here of little jewels. So I'll see which ones I want. Oops, what that is. Okay, I want a clear one. There we go. There's one right there. Okay. So I know you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, all these different things, but when you're doing a lot of painting, all these different products are so helpful. But I use PVA glue, PVA. I had never heard of it until I talked to my daughter, who is an artist, and she went to college and became a graphic designer. And I was telling her, I discovered this PVA glue. And she goes, oh yeah, we use it at school all the time. I was like, oh, okay. So it's a bookbinder's glue. And I use it because it dries clear. It is flexible. And it's non-yellowing. And it's also archival. So we're going to take our stylus, a little bit of our PVA glue, put it where we want our rhinestones. So you decide, where do you want your rhinestone? Where do you want your rhinestone? Or rhinestones? Maybe you want to put several on there. I don't have my other, we'll use this little pencil for my pickup tool. So there's one right there. I'm going to put that right where I want my rhinestone. And voila, you guys, we got her done. Woohoo! Okay, so we're going to be doing another tag next Thursday. Don't forget, next Thursday. And then next Saturday, we'll be doing the little flower, this flower, next Thursday. And that would be, what is that date? That would be the 25th. The 25th of September will be this flower. And then the 27th, we'll finish our Porch and Petal series with this, the strawberry house. This has a little more detail, so we'll leave it to the end. I'm excited, you guys. It's been so fun to paint and pencil with you today on this beautiful Saturday. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you next Thursday. Thank you for being on. We'll be in the same place. Talk to you later. Ta-ta for now.